All right, is it recording? Happy Labor Daber. It is Monday, aka Labor Day, and I am home from work, and I'll be home from work tomorrow too. 6:59 a.m. into a.m. and we're on page 3 of Prometheus Powers. And what I'm trying to do, you may have noticed that it's grayed out here. I have to gray it out because I have to know where my lines are. And this is a temporary move. But the first thing I've got to do is fix my brushes and my inks. There we go. And then, not pixel thin to thick. Pixel. I don't know why I thought I had gotten farther than I did, but I guess I didn't. And hopefully I'm on the right layer. Yes, I am. Okay. So what I'm doing, oh, not cool. I'm using the wrong color. It's not, I gotta use black. Dude. There we go. I think that fixed it. Crisis averted. So anyways, things are going pretty well. I am making great progress. On this comic, I started September. September's going to be really easy. I just noticed a note on there. I think I may have mentioned, I'm like, oh, a lot of people finish their stuff early. One guy finished his stuff, he finished the whole thing like he was really good, like that I saw. And it specifically actually even says you can do it all one day if you want to. Alright, so maybe I'll do a little faster on the September just to clear it off. I like these challenges. For me, the whole point of the challenge is that it stretches out over time. You're doing a little bit every day, but I understand it's not the way for everybody. I have also been doing my own pixel art and slowly getting better at it. Like I did my first, I don't know if it's really my first. I think it counts as my first scene. Hey, eraser. Okay. Now if I can just outline him. No problem. All right, now we're going to bring it back. That's how black ink is, right? It's all the way to the black. My real problem, of course, is the halo. It needs to be like a little bit closer. And then we also have to put some stars on it. Oof. Space backgrounds like this it's kind of a risk because they always look good, but they always look kind of bad too. So let's take the pencil layer out for a second. That's what this really looks like. Now we need to get our speech bubbles in there. But let's also do this. I'm going to put this to white. And I'm going to use my rusty nib to see some stars. And then also, I distinctly remember wanting to do stars that follow in his wake here. All right, let's fix the speech bubbles real quick. Oh, I don't even have a layer for it yet. Okay, so we can fix that. We can fix that. First of all, this one right here, let's just get rid of it. Delete. Plus, rename. Bubbles, speech bubbles. And for my speech bubbles, I like to use the technical pen, and the reason for it is it's I know it doesn't fit as well, but it's easier to deal with the fills on it. All right, how about this one? Okay. All right, so once again, we're going to take the space, we're going to turn it to gray. Oh, put it in white? What am I thinking? So this line hides, actually we can hide the whole line in the panel border. Okay. Also, let's take this and then the galaxy will tremble. I think I should put it down here. It balances nicely. We've got nice flow as we go through here. If we just keep it across the top, not only will we cover part of the portal, but we have a less interesting flow. Cancel. Back to bubbles. Oof. Recently saw this news story about the guy from Smash Mouth who's on hospice care. He had alcoholism, and his liver is now in failure, complete failure, cirrhosis. And I go and I look him up to see when he was born. He was born in 1967. He's in his 50s. He's not that old. And it makes me a little bit worried for someone I know who has a real alcohol problem. And when I say real alcohol problem, I mean troubles with the law, all kinds of shit like that. Makes me worried. In and out of hospitals. That could sneak up on you, man. You gotta take care of yourself. Alright, so this is good, except I've gone over the line here. Alright, whoops. Let's smooth out this little jagged area. That looks okay. Have I got enough stars over here? That's the next part. Wrong nib. That's the thing, is I got better. I started to use different nibs. And then, oh, bad. I don't want all the flashy stars, the cross stars. I just want little dots. I wanted the sparkles to be behind him, so there's kind of, yeah, I don't know. See, it gets too complicated. And then you have a harder time figuring it out. Alright, there's panel 1. It took us 11 minutes. 11 minutes of pain. Alright. But now, let's get into this other panel here. My problem with panel 2, and I'm looking at it, is we want to go, number one, we're not going to do a black background because we just did that, and it will, we want this to contrast. So I think we have to, let's get back into the ink layer. Focus on the figures. And I think what we'll do is I use the word focus. We're gonna use the focus lines technique to bring that out. And I'm looking at, I got the wrong, oh, no, I got the right one. That's Rusty Nib, man. That's the reason it looks so rough. Oh, I know why. It's because it's this figure is much smaller than the other figure. I like that line. All right. Something like that. How about that? Let's pull off our pencil layer for just a moment. I mean, it's going to be a small figure. This is print size right here. And yeah, okay. No. Yes. Alright, I want to make his arms look really buff. This is his finger, his pinky. Recently I got into Astro Boy Volume 10, Tezuka. This arm is weird. And this was 1950 something, like 1956. And they have a story about opioid addiction and these criminals that are using a space station to bring drugs into Japan, that's a very Tezuka type of story in its own way. Because it has, so Tezuka, if you don't know about Tezuka, right, the guy who created Astro Boy, the guy who basically, you know, created the beginnings of manga, right? He had a medical degree. He was a full doctor. Um, and a lot of his stories have a medical angle. In fact, the blackjack ones are the ones that have the real medical, and there's usually like just some aspect of medical science that he finds interesting. And I mean, they're like Dr. House MD. There's always a medical mystery, or um, somebody's dying of something. It's very cool. All right, so this is one of those situations where I get confused. Let me take the pencil off for just a second. Is this correct? This line, this curve here, or rather, should it be this? I think it's this. All right. Oh, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's correct. All right. So we've got most of it. We're not doing the hatching just yet. But out of the upper right corner, he's hit with this bolt of magical energy. And it doesn't just come in straight in. It comes in like a zot. I'm now tempted to use Zorch because somebody said I didn't realize this was part of the Chex Quest continuity, because apparently in the 90s there was a game called Chex Quest. It was a cereal box game that you could, I think, download from the back of the cereal box in the 90s. And they actually have it. I think they even have it on Steam now. But they use Zorch as a verb, like you're part of the Zorch squad or something, and you have to Zorch all your enemies. I was just trying to think of a funny sound effect, and I used it in um, it's slipping my mind. Oh, I used it in Princess of Apshai. Zorch. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Let's bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. One thing I'm not sure about is thick outlines on this energy bolt. Energy bolts don't normally have thick outlines, so if you go fast, that's what happens. So, all right, let's try it. All right, so we're gonna try and just. That's a good sound effect. Crack, crack a boom, frag a boom. Love Dan Fraga. Let's take a look at this speech bubble. You are rejected, immortal Titan. Well, if we say you are rejected, let's put an emphasis on the word rejected. We'll make that in bold italic. Such are the terms of the ward on this gate. There we go. It's always a good idea to mix in some words that you want to emphasize. Like, say it back to yourself in a dramatic way and figure out which words you want to stress. All right. We're going to do focus lines, and that'll be it for this particular thing. Focus lines, how to do it. First of all, we're probably going to put it on its own layer. So we're going to call this one rename focus. Also, hatching marks I'm thinking of putting on its own layer because I've got such a nice clean line here. I would hate to mess it up and then have to go and recover the line. And under canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, perspective, the center, where it's going to happen. I think it might happen right here. And choose assisted drawing. Make sure you're on the right focus layer. And then you're going to do groups of 3. But you don't actually have to touch your subject, you're just going towards the subject. They should be tapered lines, so thicker at the base than at the point. And the best way to get action into them is to flick them so that they taper nicely. If you try and draw them, you'll get a line, but it won't be a very exciting line. Even if you try and draw like that, you won't get a good, it'll get this sort of hypodermic needle look to it. If you want to go nuts, you can do more than groups of 3. You could do the whole thing if you wanted to, but I think your best effect is groups of 3, small groups like this. You can also, there's also other variations of this you can do. I mean, take a look at other comics, real comics, and you'll see there's, all kinds of ways to do this effect. I did 5 on that one. Okay. Look for any obvious gaps that are just too much. Everything has to converge on the one guy. All right, let's go ahead and turn off the assisted drawing part, and you can turn off the drawing guide as well at this point. And let's erase all the stuff that ends up outside of the panel. Now, the other danger is you just drew a bunch of really thick black lines, and then your subject inside the panel is thin lines. This could be a problem. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to, either we're gonna put some kind of outline on the guy or something. Maybe we can. In this case, I think we can put some kind of Kirby crackle behind him, just to, because what we've created here is a nice frame. So compositionally, we're in the money, but we want to frame him out a little bit nicer. Another thing that we can do to bring that out is we can do our hatching, because we have the light source established. The light source is this energy blast right here. All right, so let's think about that. If I throw another layer here, we're going to call this hatching. Let's put some initial hatching on there. All right, so this is same deal. Like, this is the light right here. Actually, this whole area is light. So I think we can. Am I on the right? I'm on the right one. And just know that you're in for some work. Because you're going to have to hatch the whole thing. This arm, well, this arm, it's going this way, right? So we gotta, and also you want to use the curves of the hatching to describe the form. And then finally, we've got to save some room because we want to put in a sound effect right along here somewhere. Oh shoot! Here we go. All right, we're at 31 minutes. I'm gonna keep working on this. Obviously, we've got stuff to do. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And there will be more comics every day. And there will now be pixels every day. Unless I decide to finish the challenge early. I am committed to finishing September, though. It's going to happen. And, yeah, that's all I got. Oh, you know, we should do one last thing. This is an eerie voice from beyond, so... In fact, it's a psychic voice. So I don't know if we have to, oh, shucks. Here we go. We're going to have the spider guardian talk without tails. There won't be any speech bubble tails. I think would be the best way to do it. Might even change the font. All right. Here's our pencils back. We're making good progress. That's about halfway point. That's literally the halfway point, I would say. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. 34 minutes.